In this tutorial, we will write a Java program to convert binary number to a decimal number. So let's write a separate function for it, static, and it will return a decimal which will be your integer value, and function name is binary to decimal. Okay, so it will take an integer number which will be your binary number and we will convert it. And how do we convert? Let's say we have a number 1011. So how do we convert it? We start with 1 multiplied by 2 plus 0 multiplied by 2 plus 1 multiplied by 2 plus 1 multiplied by 2, and then you go on from last to first number and you give power from 0 up to 1 to 3 2 and then 3. There you go. Okay, so this is how this will be your decimal number basically. So we need to calculate all this. So there is a pattern. You just take one number at a time and you have to give power of 2's from 0 1 2 3 and so on, and you multiply it by power of 2. Okay, so how we can implement it? We can run a loop. So let's say we have I variable 0 which will be our power exponent, and we run a loop until our number is not equals to 0, and every time we take last number which is remainder. So remainder is taken by remainder operator by 10. So now since we have remainder, let's say we have an also integer called or decimal number which is by default equals to 0, and we basically add plus equals to what do we add? A remainder multiply by 2 power I. Okay, so for power let me import java library java.lang.math, and math have a math.power function which will take 2 power I. Okay, 2 power I. So I will start from 0, so last number uh, will be taken and multiply by 2 power 0, then second last number 2 multiplied by I will be 1. So to make I 1 in second iteration, we will increase it by 1, or you can say just plus 1. Okay, and you will divide number by 10. There you go. And finally, we'll return our decimal number. So I think so far so good. Let's take a number from user. For that, I need to make a scanner object. Scanner reader equals to new scanner system dot in, and we will give a message to the user to enter a number, enter a binary number basically, and we will read that into our integer variable called number equals to reader dot next int. Okay, and integer we have our decimal equals to, we call our binary to decimal function and we pass our binary number. So this will return us our decimal number which we will store into our decimal variable, and then finally we print it. We say the decimal number of uh, this binary number is and decimal number is decimal. So far so good. If we did not make any mistake, this should run, and it does. So we have binary number, let's say 100. Okay, 100 is 4, which is right. And let's say we have lost internet connection, I'm sorry. Okay, let's run it again. Okay, so let's say number is 1011 and the equivalent number is 11, which is also right. So our programs works perfectly fine. Let me walk you through the code once again. So we have a scanner object which will help us taking input from user, and then we have given a message to the user to enter a binary number. We are reading it by through reader.nextInt and storing into an integer variable called number. We have created a new variable decimal which will store a decimal number returned by binary to decimal function, and we are passing our binary number. So this will go right over here, and right over here we have two variables, decimal number and I is an iterator which will work as the exponent for 2, and inside loop we run it until our number is 0. So we basically take remainder by 10, so this will return us the last digit. So let's say if we have the same number, if you iterate over it in first iteration you will have this will return basically 1 because last digit is 1. So 1 will be returned into a remainder. So this will be decimal number equals to decimal number has this is basically same as decimal number equals to decimal number plus all this math dot power uh, remainder multiply by, okay. So plus equals to is same as decimal number equal decimal number plus all this, okay. And I equals to, this is same as I plus 1, okay. And this is also same as number equals to number divided by 10, okay. Okay, so we will have last digit I, so 1. So this will be decimal number which is 1 pel in the start. So 1 plus remainder is 1 multiplied by 2 power 0 which is 1. So 1 multiplied by 1, so decimal number will have 1, okay. And then I will be increased to 1, number will be divided by 10. So if our I'm removing this, so our number is 1011, so dividing it by 10 will be equal to 101.1. But since number is an integer data type, so this point 1 will be ignored, only 101 will be stored. So basically what we did is we just eliminated last digit, okay. So this will be stored means last digit was eliminated. So this code basically is eliminating last digit every time, okay. So now since we one is eliminated, we have 101 in number, and that's not equal to 0. Loop will run, and this time we have 101 into the number. Taking remainder by 10 will be, if you are taking remainder by 10, remainder will be 1 again because last digit is 1. So again what you are doing is decimal number already had 1, so 1 plus remainder is 1 multiplied 2 power I is 1, 2 power 1. So you are just calculating this same, and next time your I will be increased to 2, and your next digit will be 0, so this will be performed. Then your I will be 3 and your next digit will be 1, so this will be performed, and your number then will be 0. Loop will break and all addition will be returned into this decimal number that will be stored in this decimal number. And finally we print that the decimal number of whatever number is entered by whatever binary number is entered by the user is this, which is calculated by this binary to decimal function. So I think that's it with this tutorial. I hope you learned something, and if you did, please subscribe my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in next tutorial with a new program.